Hi guys, welcome back to Kengande, number one stop YouTube channel for everything that is entertainment, real estate, restaurant reviews, and so many other videos that are actually relevant to you. Now on today's episode, we are blessed to be around. She's going to introduce herself.
Thank you, Joanita.
Yes.
My name is Gertrude Kamia Othieno, and I live in England, though I was actually born in Kenya and brought up in Uganda. So I love those three countries dearly because one gave me life, that's Kenya. Uganda gave me stability and identity. And England actually gave me the experience and the knowledge, which I'm hoping to share with you on this, today.
Okay.
Yes. And oh, by the way, today is my 38th wedding anniversary.
Ooh.
So I'm not with my husband, but hello. Yeah, the 38th wedding
So
anniversary.
to him.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
So I think I want to talk about my experience of being an African, but actually living in the UK.
Yeah.
And mainly it's about the attitudes that I've actually been observing or come to understand how these two communities operate or how they interact with each other. And obviously the UK, Britain was colonized Uganda and Kenya. And so I think there's a difference that we need now to reconcile in terms of colonialism and decolonialism. Fortunately, I actually studied political sociology at the London School of Economics, and that's when I got a bigger picture about the power dynamics between the state and societies. And I've come to realize that, in fact, all of us are, in a way, brainwashed, I should imagine.
Yeah.
It's not only us as Africans, but even the, I should say English people, because I live with English people, or white people. They are just as colonized as we are. And I think until we begin to understand that situational process, then we won't understand each other as human beings, that we all have similar needs. We all have similar needs as humans. But unfortunately, one group believes that it's more superior, and unfortunately, also another group believes that it's less superior or inferior. And as far as I'm concerned, from my experience living abroad, meeting all sorts of people, cultures, foods, and everything, that is a myth. There's not one single country or race that is inferior or superior. So that's what I think I'll be developing as we go along.
Okay.
Yes.
You talked about, I don't know if they know, but you told me about your organization. Do you mind telling our viewers what your organization is?
Yes, over the years, I've lived most of my adult life in the UK, and I've worked a lot in communities and the disadvantaged communities. And what came to mind, or what I'm really concerned about and sure of, is that, like I've just mentioned, we all have similar needs. In the UK, for example, you find some needy people. I mean, poor, obviously, as much as you find poor people in Uganda. Although the rate of poverty might be different, but there's what you call inequality in all societies. And so after realizing that, I started an organization called the Global People's Network. And it is very well thought out. It's a global, it is a people's networking. So what we hope to achieve is, first of all, to bring people together, to try and bring people together and have a conversation, have these conversations and share experiences. Because what happens in Uganda, for example, is happening in the UK, is happening in Latin America. I'll give you an example of some people who are less fortunate, or who are being suffering from more inequalities. Now, in Uganda, in fact, not only Uganda, but it's the lake region.
Okay.
That's Uganda, Uganda, Tanzania.
Kenya.
Actually, yes, I'm actually trying to talk about the Batwa Pygmy people who actually live in Uganda, Congo, Rwanda, and Tanzania, not so sure. But these fellows have actually been displaced, and they are actually rainforest people. But I think in recent times, they've in fact been kicked out of their forest, the forest that they actually know very, very well. But they've recently been kicked out. And you know the reason why? The reason because they want, the governments want to keep and retain the rainforest for the gorillas, yeah? So that we can actually get more tourists. So what I'm trying to get to say here is that we are all connected in terms of the inequalities and the what do you call it? Yeah, inequalities and lack of opportunities.
Yeah.
So in fact, these same people we're talking about, like the pygmies, you are going to find that they are the same people in the rainforest in Latin America. Okay?
Okay.
So the Global People's Network hope to bring these people together, share experiences, and take action. Because we tend to think that it's only in Uganda. No. You go to Asia, there's also same people who are actually suffering from the same problem. Yeah, even in Europe, we have got the Roma community. The Roma community also have a bit displaced. They don't have a home. They just roam around. So all those people need to come together and have conversations. And also then share these conversations with other people, what you'd call the middle classes or whatever classes you want to say, so that we begin to talk and speak as human beings and respect each other rather than looking down upon particular races. So the Global People's Network, yes, in the main, we would like to promote equality among people, and I know it's very ambitious, but also to improve prosperity.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's such a brilliant idea.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah. Now you did mention about colonization. What is your understanding of colonization?
Yes. Well, the main understanding of the colonization for everybody, it's about one country either invading another one, or they come and negotiate. But at the very end of the day, they actually then take control of that country, and they start ruling the indigenous people.
Yeah.
So that's the main one. You know, that's the generally agreed sort of explanation for colonization. But again, for me, being away and also looking at my people in Africa and also living in the UK, for example, I would like to take colonization at another level. And I've actually realized that in fact we as Africans were not only colonized alone, but even the colonizer in the process got colonized. The mindset became colonized. What exactly do I mean? That you may think that you are colonizing another one, but while you're colonizing the other one, you are actually become also colonized, because the mindset is actually being brought together by a particular ideology. You understand? Particular beliefs. And then one group believes that becomes superior, another one actually is subjugated and becomes or feels inferior. Now, I'm quite interested in that scenario, because then who is colonized and who is not colonized? I think both of them are colonized. Because while the colonized or the colonizing believes that they've got a superior culture. They have come and, dominated the underdog, if you want. They don't know anything about the colonized culture. They don't know anything. So you cannot actually claim to be superior to me when you don't know what I have.
Okay.
You understand?
I guess it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But also you as a colonized person,
Yeah.
you believe that I'm superior to you. But you also don't know, because I've actually lived in the UK for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And what I know today, I didn't know before I went. And what I know today, most Africans who have actually not traveled don't know that there's poverty in the UK, for example. We're talking about UK.
Where you've been.
Yes.
Yeah.
You find these issues that concern humans everywhere. But because we don't know, and I might also add, we have actually been told a lie. All of us have actually been lied to. The colonized and the colonizers, we have all been lied to. And what has happened is that then we find ourselves actually clashing, fighting against each other. And that's also needn't be there, because nobody is actually superior than the other one. It's a case of listening to each other, understanding each other, and knowing or realizing that we are all what you would call victims of circumstances. We have all been victimized. The ordinary people of the white community and the black community or the African community, we have all been victimized. So we need to be understanding that difference instead of remaining at perils. I'm superior and the other one is superior. Nothing. That is all a lie, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. You've been to England, you've been to Kenya and Uganda. Have you been to any other country?
Yes, I've been to the US, but as a guest, I've been to Sweden, Italy, but as guests.
Oh, it's okay.
However, I speak with much confidence about Uganda, or Africa, or Uganda and Britain.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I was coming to that.
Yes.
Now, you've been to all those countries, but when you come back to Uganda, when you come back to your homeland, do you think some Ugandans are still colonized, or they're still under the cloud of colonization?
I think all Africans, the former colonies, I think all of us were actually at one time colonized.
Yeah.
We are still colonized. Uganda in particular, you asked me about Uganda, is clearly colonized. One, we still learn or were educated in a Western form of education.
Yeah.
That alone is colonized.
Yeah.
But even if you look at other practices, our traditional practices like, for example, marriage, we believe that the white wedding, I will even call it white wedding.
Yeah, it's superior.
Yeah, white wedding, that is the wedding, and our marriages, because we used to marry actually before the white man came, we see that as secondary, So, in fact, even before, I think Uganda probably has changed their laws recently, but the marriage that was actually carried out or conducted in church was more recognizable in terms of inheritance. But I think now it has changed. So what about the rituals that we do after death or during death? We had our rituals, respecting our ancestors and departed ones. Again, all that has actually been westernized, because you find that, for example, Okwabi Olumbe, you're going to find the clergy, you're going to find the Bible. And I'm not against Bible at all, but I'm saying that it's a mishmash. So either we might come up with actually something new that is unique to us, that's fine. But at the moment, I think there's a lot of confusion. What about the naming systems? What about homes talking and using English? Really? Should we? And unfortunately, a lot of our cultures are actually receding because of the colonial mentality. And it does not matter. In fact, the elite are even more colonized than the people we call rural or villagers. So I think definitely we are under lock.
Okay, it's really interesting. So what ways do you suggest that Ugandans can be decolonized?
Yes, Ugandans. Yeah. At the moment, my organization, Global People's Network,
Okay.
we have prepared a petition. That petition is for the United Nations to dedicate a decade for the decolonization of the African mindset. Now that's huge, but it can be done because you find all sorts of days being dedicated by UN, you know, family days, there's toilet day and all sorts of interesting things, yeah, which is good. It's really good.
Yeah.
But I think we've got to take this decolonization very, very seriously. Yeah, so the petition to UN is to ask or request a whole decade.
A whole decade, not a day?
No.
A decade to decolonize in the African mindset.
Of course, it cannot be a day.
Yeah.
We have been colonized for the past 600 years.
All our lives.
You know, 600 years.
Okay.
So decolonizing will also need a bit of time.
Yeah.
A bit of time.
So,
in fact, a decade is not long enough, but yes, that can actually be.
So you, let's get into this petition. You want the UN to dedicate a decade to decolonize. Let's get into that. What does the UN have to do?
Yeah.
So whoever is signing the petition can quite understand why they're signing the petition.
Yes, and the petition will actually explain, but in brief, if the UN actually does agree and dedicate a decade for the decolonization of the African mind, then it means that we can actually engage with the whole world, because the UN, remember, has got about 200 member states. You know, some people have been saying, why not AU? You know, yeah, AU is part of UN anyway. But the UN will then, once we get that decade, we'll be able to tell and talk about ourselves, our stories. Everybody has actually been defining and describing the African condition and experience, except the African. We have never defined ourselves. We have actually been written about in the books. We know who we are. We know who we are, but I don't think most people do.
Yeah.
And over a period, we have, you know, our dignities have actually been
stripped off.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all these, it's a conversation. It's
That
not a
needs to keep
confrontation.
happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So, and also not only to the outside world, but even amongst ourselves, because like the younger generation, everything is Western. And so you wonder what happens, what's going to happen to us. And yet there's so much, there's a lot of heritage that Africa has and can actually share with the rest of the world. The African condition is beautiful. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's really nice. I think we're going to put that petition in the description box. Whoever wants to, you know, get to know about the petition, understand it, whoever wants to sign, they can just get to that. Now, what do you think is the way forward for everyone, for both parties, colonizers and the
Yes, I think the best thing to do, or the way forward, is first of all the understanding that we are all in it together. Yeah, we are all in it together. Nobody is a victim. Another one is a triumph or whatever it is. Yeah, we are all in it together. We need to understand that we actually belong to the human race. We need to understand that what you need, your needs are exactly the same as my needs. It does not matter whether someone is actually in the rainforest, another one is in Kampala or London or wherever it is. Your needs are the same as my needs. That's most important. Secondly, we need to begin to start respecting each other. And I'm not saying that we are equal, but we all have got special things to actually bring to the plate. So once we begin to understand that, then I think we'll go a long way. In fact, trying to fulfill the ambition of the UN 2030 agenda, which is encouraging us all to participate and make sure that there's nobody who should be hungry by 2030.
Yeah, no one should be hungry.
No one should go hungry. No one should go hungry at all. Not at all. Because there's a lot of food. In fact, by the way, there's a lot of food in Uganda.
Too much.
Too much. In fact, it has actually helped us with the corona.
Yeah.
You know, while we are in the lockdown, all we have done is eat. And good food, you know.
Healthy, fresh.
Exactly. Everybody came back from lockdown looking so well.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So all that we got to understand and actually share, because there's so much you can actually share.
True.
Understanding, knowledge, experience, respect, and all the rest of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
This episode was so insightful. If you didn't learn from it, I don't know what you're doing, because I really learned a lot from this. So we're going to end this episode.
Okay.
Madam Gertrude, we're so pleased to have you here on Kinganda.
Yes,
guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, make sure you follow us on all our social media pages. That is Kinganda Nation on Facebook and Kinganda on Instagram. Before we log off, do you have social media? Do you want to, where they can follow you from, or it's just the organization website?
Yes, the organization website.
Yeah.
It's www.globalpeoplesnetwork.
Yeah.
One word. .org.
Yeah. We're going to put in the description box so whoever wants to, get to interact with her can do that easily.
Yes.
Now, thank you so much. I already mentioned. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.